how's it feel to be overlooked, underrated and hated? Stomach pains in the belly of a city hungry. If one of us made it to prominence, is a mentality of crabs in a barrel. Reality is pretty ugly. But let's back up, cause my story ain't a fairy tale, it's really real. Ain't had a chance, I ain't have nothing, I could barely fail. All I had was these neighborhoods I know very well. In a fiery wheel, some pages in my diary I would spill. Lyrics on my paper, violence around me, it's on me. I blindly fill my books like a zombie, measuring these stories with my bare hands. Pictures of this grimy game, I style it like a paladin in a kamikaze plane. A decade of paying dues, now I'm a grown man. I live my life holding death inside my own hands. The kids that I grew up with locked up are inside a box. There ain't no one in here, your only choice is fight a box. The music pushed me through, the ghosts is in the hall. Toasters in the dope sickness, ferociousness and all. The hopelessness of watching overdoses in the horror. Suicides and murders, I can't take this shit no more. I had these posters on my wall and this music in my room. It took me out my world, it would shoot me to the moon. Use a fire burning, I'm determined from this high. Learning put me on a different road, engine revving, tires turning. Ever since I'm 7, I just know where I gotta go. Trapped in this vicious stone, but I'm back, this is home. They say I could have been a star, but I lost my logic. My heart is hotter than the bricks in a Boston project. Project.
Alright, 239 fam, this is the Bro Show back here with our week 2 episode. So we got Dominator Silva here with us.
What's up, guys?
And we got a special guest, Daly here.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. Heard the show last week, super pumped. I'm glad you guys asked me to be on, so I'm here. Looking forward to talking 239 with you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely appreciate you having on here. Rocco's out sick with some strep throat, so feel better, buddy. Yeah, AFK, feel better. But he'll be back next show, I think. You know, hopefully that clears up. So we got a big agenda here today. So just wanted to kick off the show that this week's episode is going to be brought to us by the 239 Dog of the Week. And first Dog of the Week we got here is Surprise Me's boxer puppy. In an orange truck. In an orange truck. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, the orange truck won me over, I'm not gonna lie. The dog in the orange truck.
Surprised from the top rope.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening with the dog?
We posted a thread, or Donnie posted a thread earlier this week, and it was just like, we wanted each member to throw in a pic of their dog, right? Like, any member is a dog, like a cute pic, or something silly they did, or something like that. Because this is a dog podcast, you know what I mean?
No cats. No cats.
Yeah, no cats. I own a cat.
You feel like I would see this, but apparently I missed this. So this is a fail.
You gotta check it out. It's just
I'm gonna
full
go
of dogs.
A lot of dog pics.
You got Kayla's dogs. Daily, you're on a party with Kayla, you see those little fuckers in the background, and they're just going ham. You get to see what they actually look like. But no, like, straight up, Donnie, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like Surprise Me took this out of a photo album or something, or like an advertisement for dogs. Like, it's unbelievably photogenic and cute.
Yeah,
this orange truck, orange Hummer, whatever the fuck you want to say. Beagle? I don't know what that is, but it's cute.
I think it says Jeep. Oh, this is it could be a boxer. I don't know, but and also no name either. So the nameless potentially boxer puppy in an orange truck. Need Surprise Me's face with a newspaper next to this dog to confirm it's actually his.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so every week we're going to bring the episode brought to you by the Dog of the Week. So first one is Surprise Me's dog. It'll be great to know his name and share some more pics of this cute little guy. I read in the chat box or somewhere in this thread that this is the guy who's been making a lot of ruckus in the background of Chili Con Carnage parties too. But I don't see any bad behavior coming from this guy at all.
No, I doubt it. I think he's a good boy, and I hope he knows it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Somebody better be telling him that.
So I think so on the agenda today, what do we got? We got Hot or Not, some Donnie drama, and then we'll do word association. Is that right?
Yeah, sticking with the good old 1-2s, just added Dog of the Week. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's just start it off with Hot or Not. Now, obviously, for those that don't know, first-time listeners, whatever, we just kind of talk about or have hot takes on the teams that we believe are streaking or underperforming in the past week. Just kind of focusing on the past week. We don't want to blow who's number one over and over and over. for the entire this season, especially if they stay there. So Donnie, we'll just start with you. Like, who's your hot or nots?
I gotta put Chile Con Carnage back up again, just because they had something like 13. I think last time we talked to them, they were at 9 in a row. We talked about them. Then they were at 13 in a row. Then they lost one game, I think. So I think they might have lost the series 2-1. But their last 10 is 9-1. Definitely the hottest team out here. I think. We mentioned this, that they made a trade, got Bomber on D. It will help them out, and I think that's paying dividends for Pogs over here. But they're going to be, probably the first hot team of the week for me. So.
Do you have any nods or anything like that? Oh, I guess before we move on to daily, I don't know. It's up to you. Is that all you got, Donnie?
Yeah.
Pretty much just Chile Con. Yeah, sorry. Take it away, daily.
Well, I guess for me, it's a team that's been kind of quiet, but like they continue to win, and that's got to be the Peninsula Pirates. D-Mart's team, they're 14-7. They're just winning series. One of those series without Dan, by the way. But they're not sweeping, but it's like 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I think they have a series loss in there too, but they've sort of been the epitome of consistency. They're winning. They're not putting up maybe the numbers of like a Chile Con Carnage or an In-Betweeners or something like that, but they are winning and they continue to win. And when you look at the roster makeup, you got D-Mart, Welcome to the Web, Burks. It's a really dynamic 1, 2, 3. Rocco and the beautiful one on defense, and Sober has really improved his numbers as well. He's up to about an 80 save percentage, 2.3 goals against. Let's be honest, this has not been a goaltender season for anybody, with the exception of maybe the Lime. But this team, to me, is hot and on the way up. So I really like what I'm seeing from the Pirates. As far as the knots, man, I have to go with read the bio, and it's always so tough because like what Brian did was so good, right? It was for the betterment of the league. But he really hindered himself, so that would probably be my not. But I think the Tompkins trade, people are down on Tompkins. I'm not. I've seen what this guy can do. I've played a whole season with this guy. I think that trade really improves Brian. It's not going to fill the hole that 77 times 7 left, but it's definitely going to improve his team on the back end. So we'll see. But they're my not right now.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that. And I was going to maybe touch on that, and Donnie John was just thinking about it simply because that's such a catch-22. And I know what Brian said when he ruled Rule 1 to Earl, and that's a huge hit to your team. Like that team is, and we'll talk about it later, but that team makes it, that player helps the team be a competitor. And then, for let's say not the worst thing you could do, but one of like the shittiest things you could do to your team and bailing on them. And, just to have that bite that person in the back, that sucks. And as a not, no, I would happen to agree with you because of that. And it's more like a bittersweet one. It's a bittersweet one. As for my hot or not, I would say Cutie Patooties. They're my hot simply because they're streaking. We could have a quality of competition question mark if you want to see who they played in the last week, but I believe they haven't lost in their past week and after their bye week. And they've only played, I think, 18 or 15 series. I'm not entirely sure games. And again, they're a team to watch out for. They haven't made any trades, I don't believe, and they have a ton of skill. So yeah, they're hot for now. And then my not would be non-Kane, simply because I think they'll drop their last 2 series. And this team, I think, is also several series behind. And I think is underperforming, especially with the new talent they got in, like, Saney and Murph, and that's a question for another day if there's any hashtag cam up front, but I think they got to be better, and I don't know whose fault it is or if it's anybody's fault, but from what I'm seeing, they should be doing much better. They should be much higher in the standings.
It's so hard for me, like, to see teams that Sea-Doo's on struggle so bad over the last 2 years. And this isn't our season. It's not a shot at you. It's not a shot at you. But it's weird because, like, for as long as I've known her and been in leagues with her, she's always just been on teams around the top. So it's weird. It's just like a weird feeling, like an eerie feeling, like seeing her be on teams that have struggled. And I know obviously you captained the one last season, but even this season they're 5-7. You said they've dropped the last 2 series, so I don't know. For me, it's kind of weird to see that the 2-time Norris Trophy winner.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And I think what, just to touch on that, sorry, Donnie, is that Chelsea, since those seasons, has come out like into her own, and is now a perennial first round pick, and she's a high first round pick, I think, at this point. So she's now in the daily territory of your team is going to revolve around her, and I'm not saying she can't carry a team. She certainly does her part, but just like anybody, man, you need people around you. You need a supporting cast.
That's my recommendation to Chelsea when you get to what you call daily territory is Chelsea. If you're listening, this is when you captain. Woo, woo, woo. This is when
I doubt that'll ever happen. Dude, good luck getting on our immediate show, let alone captaining. I love Chelsea to death. Don't tell her I said that, but she might not ever step up, and it's no offense to anyone or whatever. It's just how she is, I guess. You can hide under blankets. Anyways, go ahead, Donnie.
Well, yeah, I was gonna talk about non-Kane too. That were gonna be my non-week because I think I had them as like let's watch out for them from next week, and then from last week's show, and then they go out and they slaughter like Kinky's team, and they were all high and mighty, and then drop 4 of their last 6. So and I'm not sure that it was high and mighty from C-Dub or C-Dub's point. I think Murph was saying, oh, we got 16 points in 3 games, right? And then they go and get swept by Tide Pod. So yeah, no, I mean, I think this team, I think we're gonna watch out for this team. I don't know if they're gonna be able to turn it around though. That I think, I don't know. I just think Murph and Saney might not gel as much as their skill wise goes up top in terms of carrying an offense. That's just my thoughts on them. I think.
Well, that's a good point, dude. Like, here's the thing. And this means something. And I'm sorry, I know this show is not as much like X's and O's, but like it's just naturally what I do, right? That's just how I am. But I've always said this. There's only one puck out there, right? I've always said that. And you have 2 players who are really, really good with it and demand it. But you also have 2 players who are very lost without it. Murph has a very good skill set offensively, but when he doesn't have the puck, he is somewhat of a mess from my experiences. I think Staney has really turned the corner. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him play lefty, or righty for that matter, but Chelsea's obviously there.
Well,
he's a fantastic defenseman. This is coming, like I said, I played a couple games with him, and I was absolutely shocked because like he came in, and I was like, oh no, Staney wants to play defense. I'm like, you know what, man? I'll just bite the bullet. I'll play lefty, play right wing. I don't want to deal with the misery. He really impressed me, and I've said it on the Throwdown, man. Dub is a true center. Dub is a true center. You're having guys who aren't true centers, whether it's BTW, whether it's Murph, whether it's Staney. None of those guys are true centermen. It would be in his very, very, very benefit to move Staney to D, move himself to center, and play in between BTW and Murph. I really, really think it could go a long way with some of their struggles, but who the fuck am I? But that's just my opinion on it. But I
completely agree. I played D with Saney. He's good. He just has to want to play D. Like, and he has to. He's going to be the type of person. I kind of get this. If I'm playing D and like, the forwards, like, he's going to know that his forwards can score, because if he's playing D and his forwards aren't scoring, you're just going to get frustrated. Sometimes that's how I get too, because I'm like a former forward. Transition back to, actually I was a D-man, then a forward, then back to a D-man too, so sometimes I get frustrated and probably try to do too much on D, right? And I have to like rein myself back, right? So that's where he has to come from too. So I think he can play D. He's just gotta like tell himself, I can play D, I trust the forwards or whatever. It's hard going from forward to D and back and forth when you have like that mindset. So if you can just tell him, so I played D with him and we were fine playing D together, and we had a good team last year too though. So but yeah, I just think he just gotta want to play, and I think if that happens, he plays D and he commits to that, and I think that team could turn it around. But yeah, they're gonna be something to watch out for. I think
I have Donnie Wood. I'm like in the same boat as Donnie Wood. Like, no joke. Like, the reason I'm playing forward this year is because if you look at my last 3 years in the league, on defense, my teams that I've drafted have been some of literally the lowest scoring off. Even the season that I won in season 4, my teams have been some of the lowest scoring offenses in the league. And so I was like, you know what, I'm over it because they try and do too much. You ask anybody who's watched.
You would argue that's the daily system, right? And that's the system. You saw me for a series last season that I try to implement. It's just the smartest way of playing hockey, and then the scoring will come if you have talent up front. Now, I agree with you. You going up front, that'll certainly help out. One, you need a supporting cast around you up front, and two, that system still needs to be there if you don't want to have 7-6 games or 7-5 games, right? So, who else can really do that? Have that system truly run than a quarterback on D, and I think that's typically what we see, and I think that could tie into non-Kane. I saw them play Tide Pod Buffet, right? Donnie, you touched on it. They got swept by Tide Pod Buffet. If you actually watch the series, they deserved to get swept by Tide Pod Buffet. Why? Because they had a better system than they did. It was just working. They were passing. They were using their players. It wasn't just kind of hacky, wacky bullshit, kind of no system. And again, not saying you need a system to win, but if you're a smart team with smart players, it makes sense to kind of strategically witness what the other team is doing and then find ways to stop it. And typically having a system, doesn't matter if it's a trap or whatever, dump in place will certainly be helpful. Now again, non-Kane, I agree with you. The one last touching note on them is they played the fewest series in the league, right, as of now. They do have time to turn around. They need to recognize that they have to turn it around. And then, again, the league is forgiving. It's, what are we, halfway in? Maybe a month later after this, the end of April. Should be the end of the season. So, they got plenty of time to go. Now, just to move on to that, maybe this ties into what we're going to talk about. We're going to, I think, maybe have the section called Daily Drama, brought to you by Donnie Drama this week, because I think we all know Daily, and we've seen his rants on the Throwdown. That's arguably why he's famous. I don't know if we have much this week because it was a quiet week, but come on. There's people in this league, there's always drama, past, present, future, and if you guys don't have anything, I certainly do. So Donnie, take it away.
Yeah, so I think last week we touched on, we got real heavy into the trades, all the different kinds of stuff that we, we're looking at that we're throwing around, stack teams, super teams, these trades that are just super lopsided, all this stuff, and then sat down and looked at it. Daily, was like, hey, why don't you guys take a look at these points here? Don't you think it's kind of bundled up in the middle? Right? Isn't this kind of where the parity is? So I don't know, Daily, if you want to take it off and just kind of go talk about how, we could be wrong about these trades, or at least from, a top 12 team perspective. So.
Well, it was weird because obviously I listened to the show last week because I love anything 239. I think everybody knows that. So when I heard there was a new show, especially with losing 239 tonight, I was super pumped. That's why I was happy you guys asked me to come on. But yeah, it was weird. So you guys were ranting last week, and I don't want to get into the trades too much, but yeah, there were definitely some trades that were questionable. Would I have done them? No. Would others have done them? No. But we do all value talent a certain way, and it's what it is. But with the trades being done, I keep hearing parity. I jump into parties, and people message me after the Throwdown and different things like that. So I had to do a little research because I'm like, man, is the parity really fucked this year? Is it that bad? And I went and looked, and before I do this, shout out to AC, shout out to Kinky, shout out to Tom FCW. Right now those three teams are really struggling, and they're not that far off some of the teams that I'm, going to talk about, but they are the teams that seem to really, really be struggling right now. But, man, there are 12 teams that are in this thing. And when I mean in this thing, I mean all those teams could easily make the playoffs. There's going to be 4 teams this year. I envision there will be 4 teams with an over 500 record that don't make the playoffs. I know that's a very steep statement, but there's going to be 4 teams over or around a 500 record that simply just won't make the playoffs this year. I think that given what's happened this year, for it being our first 15-team season, for some of the supposed, scrapes in the league, different things like that, we legitimately still have 12 of the 15 teams still vying for 8 playoff spots. When you look at the points from 6 down to 11, it's separated by 7 points, but there's games in hand. Like, there's different factors that play in, so it's kind of early to tell, but there's actually a lot of parity. Everybody's beating up on one another. I know Chili's on a good run right now. In-betweeners are beating up on everybody early. Ski Mask Lovin's still up there. They got games in hand, but it's just really weird. Even the 5th seed, Vigo's team, 13-10-1. I mean, they're basically 500. 9-inch males, 11-7-3. They're basically 500. Look at Tide Pod, 11-10-3. You know, they're a little under 500. Read the bio, 8-9-4. Those are playoff teams that I'm mentioning right now. And all these teams are really close by the point. So these games matter. Like tonight, Read the Bio versus Muffin Man. If you're not watching that series, you should be, because that is a huge series on the standing and the seating tonight. I mean, I know it's early, but these are the times that matter. So I think there's more parity than people are giving credit for. But again, you know, we all have our opinions and different things like that. But it was interesting when I looked into it a little bit more.
No, I mean, I agree with you. After looking at it, and like I'm on Ski Mask Love, and we've been hanging around in the middle here. I think the last couple series, we've battled these teams that are part of this. I'm gonna call it like a mess, but this jumbled up like middle of the standings here. You got kind of like, you know, Chili, Carnage in between yourself above, and the 3 teams you mentioned kind of below. Non-came with a bunch of games in hand, and then these teams in the middle. I mean, I just think that every series is gonna be a battle. We played Bad Boys; it was a battle. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna come down to the wire on this, and this is why this season's extra weird too, because I mentioned about it last week, is that with the odd number of teams in the bye weeks, there's like a lot of games in hand floating around on people too. So how the season shakes out in the last 3 weeks is going to be super interesting, as teams like Non-Canaan, the teams that like Cutie Patooties got 18, after they start like catching their games in hand, where are they going to go up? And because I mean we're in 3rd place, but we have, you know, the most games played. We have 24. We've played all our games, right? So how is that going to shake it out too, right? And I think it's going to be interesting. And you're right. I think there'll be, you know, 2, 3, 4 teams battling for those last, you know, 1 or 2 playoff spots for sure towards the last week of the season. I think it's going to be interesting. And who knows? I have one other question about hockey too, right? Did the LA Kings in 2012 win the Stanley Cup with a losing record? Like, what's a losing record in hockey? You count the overtime losses?
I think you count the overtime losses.
But they were 40, 27, and 15. So did they win the Stanley Cup? I got in an argument with my buddies at a bar about this. Did they win the Stanley Cup with a losing record?
Yes. Because you still lost.
That's by definition of losing.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, you get a point. You get a point. No one's arguing you didn't get a point, but those are, what's the word for those 15? What's the number? What's the word next to that number? Overtime losses, right?
I know. It's just
yes,
a weird
they
way to
lost
look
in
at it. Like, if you quick glance, it doesn't look like they're under 500. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. But also,
that rattled me,
if you look at their win, there's only one that rattled you. There's only one category for wins, and
I think it's the only team
that can't be disputed.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it's the only sport to. It's the only sport to you know, reward you for losing.
Point.
Yeah, it's the only sport that does that. No other sport where you got innings in baseball, you don't get anything for that. That's an L, whether you lost in 22 innings or whether you lost in 9.
Yeah, well, soccer does that. It's just that they have a 3-point system, so it makes more sense. And it's just like, it's more rewarding you for making the game longer, right? But then losing. But it's one and the same. They're not mutually exclusive, right? So. Right. I don't know what it is. I feel like if they make it a 3-point game, or get rid of overtime losses, whatever, you pick one, then that no longer becomes a thing. But yeah, technically those are losses.
I don't know.
And Donnie's slamming a beer right now as we speak.
I know. I mean, I see it. I don't know. I got mad about the NBA. I hate like when the NBA has 30 teams, but 16 teams make the playoffs. It's like. I hate that. Like more than half the teams make the playoffs, and then NHL is the same way. Now they're if they do one more expansion team, it'll be 50-50. I don't know. And then that was like, I don't think anyone's ever won like anything with a under 500 record. So I was mad. This actually stemmed from fantasy football when I got like bounced out in the semifinal round by some fucking kid who was like 5-7, and I was like 12-1. He was like 5-8, and he like snuck in the playoffs and had like one good week, and it was just stupid. Like, why are you even in the playoffs? You're under 500.
Donnie, I'll raise this.
No one's ever won. And then he pulls up the friggin' Kings from 2012, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, they're.
Donnie, I'll raise this point for you. Toronto kicked Boston's ass this regular season and took the season series 3-1. Does that fucking matter? And then that's as much as I'll say. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this team should easily crush.
Well, then everyone should make the playoffs if the regular season standings don't matter. You know, just friggin' do a whole tournament.
By the way,
yeah, we did it out that way.
So you guys obviously know Enzo and I are good buddies. So I'm gonna party with him, and he's watching the Bruins Leaf series, and he goes, "Motherfucker!" It's like the make beliefs. It's like a bunch of fucking cosmic phase out there just dangling and skating fast, and going in circles. He's like, "I hate it. I fucking hate it."
This is so true.
So,
there is a bunch of phase, just flashy fast. Yeah.
It's always good to get a. Anytime, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but anytime you can get one over on SO and get him rattled, it's always a win. Like, it's a win every single time, every day of the week.
Did he talk to you about our series? Because, like, they beat us, right?
No.
Fair and square, right? And then after he's like, all right, the good games, like, you know, we whatever, just GG, all that shit. And he goes, by the way, I hate you. I was like, why? And he's just like, your pokes are unreal, and every time you had the puck, you're showing me your back, and I so much badly wanted to poke you, and I knew I was going to get a trip. So I didn't. Like, you had me on my game more than I needed to be, and I hated it. Something like that. And it's like, that's like the best argument, or the best compliment you can get as a D, but that's such an SO topic. If he thinks you're a good D, he hates you. In a way, he just fucking hates playing against you. You have him rattled all the time. I know what you do to him. You fake like you're not gonna poke it, and then you poke it, and it pisses him off every time. And he gets him every time. And I love it.
That's because he sits on his couch. He lays while he plays. First of all, which is the most ignorant thing ever.
No,
on his belly,
that. This is a lean forward league,
in
bro.
His couch. And his couch has like this divot. Like, I can't even sit in it. It's so ridiculous. But it's like this divot. So like you sit in it and then you sink closer to hell as soon as you sit in the chair. Like, you go like literally 10 inches into the couch. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life. And he lays there. He lays and plays, dude. That's how he plays his series. So knowing you're going against him and he scores by pushing up, he's just laying, and you hate it. It's miserable.
Actually, even funnier.
Ugatron lays on his belly on his like end of his bed, just even and like he has to control his like arms underneath him with his like he explained it once at a party in that fucking wackadoo accent that he has, with his arms like I don't know, it's like it's just bananas. I don't know how you could ever play like that. With talk about neck strain, dude. Like. You know, like, ridiculous.
must have Hunchback and Notre Dame situation going on there.
I'm inches away.
I'm like
I am inches away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how
and I'm like right next to it.
Yeah, I only have good posture when I play NHL. Like I'll be at work, slouching in my chair. NHL, I'll be like propped up, straight back, let's go.
Ergonomic to the tits, yeah.
Where's my lumbar? Need more lumbar.
Need more pillows on my lower back. Get those L5 throws going. Alright, guys, I don't know if anyone else has any more tidbit drama, but we can move it on to probably our fastest growing favorite segment on the show, and that's word association. So, yeah, I think typically we'll stick with two teams a week-ish, and for those that don't know, we just kind of go through players on each team and talk about, I don't know, how stupid their gamer tag is, how much we like it, how much we hate it, we know these guys, any inside jokes, shit like that. So the first team we're going to go with is the Cutie Patooties. And again, we're doing this alphabetically, so if you follow last week, I think we did Bad Boys and ChiliCon. This week we're going to do Cutie Patooties and Donnie's Diner, and let's start with the captain, Dalai Lama. So Donnie, go ahead.
Dalai Lama, interesting. I'm just going to say Rocket, just because I remember him from back in the day playing Rocket League with my boy Ice Cream Truck, and the one thing that carried over from that was, he gave us some sick camera angle, and it just made me 10 times better at Rocket League. I don't know if he remembers that. He gave Truck a camera angle, Truck gave it to me, and I became 10 times better at Rocket League. Still 1/1000th of a player as he was, and 1/100th of a player as Truck was, but up 10 times for sure. So I'm gonna say Rockets on him.
Yeah, Donnie or Daly.
I would have to say shocked, and that's the one word to describe because, as we know now, like Dolly's so animated. Like he's like me, like he gets rage, right? Like that's how it is. It's infuriating to play this game. But season 4, every interaction I had with Dolly prior to season 4, we never played together like on a team, but we've always played against one another. Every experience I had with him was very like just chill, whatever. And I knew he was such a cool dude. So I draft him in season 4, and when I draft people, sometimes I gotta say to myself, like, how is this person gonna be able to handle me? Because I know how I am, right? It didn't take more than 12 seconds for me to realize that Dolly and I were the exact same person, and I loved every single second of it. So I was absolutely shocked when I found that out, but I was absolutely relieved as well when we won a cup together. So shocked is the way that I describe Dolly.
All right. Yeah. Mine. Just bear with me on this. It's kind of an inside.
Oh God.
Hopefully everyone knows this.
I know where this is going.
Hopefully everyone knows. I don't think you do.
I don't know.
I think you do. No, it's not going to be like that. I think you know where you. Okay. I think I know where you think it's going. It's not going to be like that.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be one of my favorite things he's ever said on stream ever. Right. Just get the acting chops down. All right. Ready? Come on, this is easy! Now, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, this is when he lost his playoff series, I believe last season. And it was just full rage, pure, unfiltered, unadulterated rage in the final minute. I think they dropped Game 7 and Game 6 and Game 7 in a row on the Knights of the Frozen Throne, or the hell that nerdy-ass team was, against, I forget who they were playing, but they kind of just played themselves, and they lost that series, and then that's what Dolly chose to yell to his teammates, which I love so much. I don't know if that's offensive. I don't know if that's, like, should make you feel bad. I don't know if that should make you feel good. I don't know any.
Wait, what did you say?
My favorite thing ever. He said, "Come on, this is easy." Like, it's just my favorite thing ever. He just shouted out the online difficulty mode of that Game 7 series. It is my favorite thing ever. That's just a little inside joke. I say that to him all the time because he knows I love it. Well, we can move on to, I'm going to say Kevin X7, or Kevin formerly DeRosier. I don't know.
I almost refuse to do this one because I hate this kid so much. Yeah. It's ridiculous. This kid is such a fucking, like... This kid's such a liar. He's such a little snake. I mean, it's great. All this stuff. He bailed on teams. He rage quit out of scouting lobbies. I hate this kid. Potential rage quit out of the first series. I refuse to acknowledge him. Next.
So refuse to, no comment. Taking no comment is the word. He doesn't listen to the show probably. It's not in French.
I don't care. I want him to. Trust me.
Mine would have to be careful. And I'm again, being an admin on the site, obviously the way we do things and how we are, we treaded very careful with him. So he's been okay so far from what I've heard, with the exception of maybe something early on. But yeah, I think Donnie covered a little bit. I know he's a good player. I've played with him before, but careful. Say that.
Careful, Kevin.
Right. Mine's gonna be a Donnie. I don't know if you remember using this one. It's one of my favorite word associations. Lego.
Yeah.
That's 100% for Kevin, because I think his first series, I forget if it was against us or whatever. He just dropped. No, it was against Peninsula Pirates. He just dropped, and he was fucking around getting more penalties. It was a whole thing, and nobody knows what happened. He legged out. I'm sure he probably did, but question mark on that.
Here's the problem: when you have a reputation, though. When you have a reputation,
yeah, exactly.
People's first reactions are, "Oh, he fucking dropped on purpose," not, "Oh, he legit lagged out." Yeah.
And if you watch Dolly's stream, Dolly was I think fully in the moment. Sure, he's intense and all that, right? Everyone knows, everyone's been there. In the moment, he's yeah, he fucking left. In his mind, he's he just fucking bailed on us this early. And Dolly's a smart dude. He knows his history. He knows what he was dealing with. And that was his gut reaction. That was everyone's gut reaction. It's that reaction for a freaking reason, right? We all know that.
Yeah, he also doesn't
Right.
help himself either. Like when he goes into scouting games and like, if you're gonna
Rage
why
is 245
why
or whatever
quit?
the hell.
Why rage in a 12-man scouting lobby?
It's
makes
literally
no
the
sense.
worst thing you can do.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
You have
I don't
11
know.
other people, 2 captains, all seeing you do it. Like, it's literally the worst thing you can do. And if that's the thing, if you're trying to, like, get on your buddy's team, this league's probably not for you. We redraft every year. So, this probably isn't for you because of the fact that we do that every season. So, I don't know, man. Careful.
Jesus. Sounds like this segment should have been a part of Donnie Drama. All right, the next one will be Cosmic EA.
Can I do Cosmic and Cortez at the same time since we're doing Donnie's Diner next?
Sure.
Yeah. My for them is, what are you thinking with that name? What are you thinking with the EA in your name?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Both of you two. Oh my god. I saw Cortez. I thought it was like a joke. And then Cosmic did it, or vice versa. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is it
He's
a
all
silent
set with
troll
it,
type of thing? He's trying to change it, or he likes it?
Oh, I don't know that.
No, they both changed it to that. It was something
I
to
know.
do with, like, they get EA'd all the time, and if you put EA in your gamer tag, I think it'll reverse the mojo of the game. Something silly. Something 20-somethings or younger would do. Yeah, Daily, do you have one?
For me, gamer. And I'll tell you why, man. So like, as you guys know, like, I'm NHL or nothing. Like, I'm not a gamer, and that's kind of like the thing. Like, I think a lot of people in the 239 community are gamers. I'm not. I just play NHL. That's it, right? But I played with every game I play with Cosmic that I do. Someone's like, "Oh, come play PUBG," or "Come do this," or "Let me see this," and every time I play with that kid, he's winning. So to me, gamer is the perfect word to describe Cosmic. He's just a straight up gamer.
Yeah, mine would be one of Cosmic's favorite words is mess. Kid's an absolute mess, dude, all the time. Yeah, I think he expects highly of himself all the time, and he makes mistakes that anybody in this league couldn't dream of making. And by mistake, I mean like, oh, I sauced it over 2 guys instead of 3. Fuck, I'm a mess. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kid's talented, but he's an absolute mess. All right, next we're gonna go with Nexus. Nexus 510.
I'm just gonna say Destiny, because that's a planet on Destiny. That's what comes to my mind first.
Nerdy.
I wonder if that's what it's from. Yeah, nerdy gamer. I did like that
been a
game
while.
till it sucked. So.
Yeah.
See, gamers, everyone.
I only play like Fortnite and NHL now, basically, because Destiny shit's the bed.
Well, dude, and we're all getting old. Like, you understand that? Like, we're all old men now. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, you know, really, do we have time to
Speak for
play
yourself.
this endless library of games, right? Well, you're right. Like, we do have, like, younger guys, but, dude, 239 is an old fucking league. Like, going to parties and shit, like, hey, how old are you? Hey, how old are you? Like, dude, I think the youngest guy on the diner is Cortez at 20, and the next closest guy is me at 29. We're an old fucking team, dude. Sorry, that has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Old league, thank you.
McGill is certainly bringing up the average. Yeah.
He listens to these shows, by the way, and he is gonna
What?
absolutely love that. Dude, McGill is a media guy.
I can
McGill's a
outrun a
media
walk.
guy, swear to God. I swear
Closet
to you.
media.
All right.
Oh, dude, McGilla is a media guy. He listens to every show, 100%. 100%.
Good. Sweet. Good for him. I like it. I'm glad he knows how technology works and all that. Okay, Meg, I'll stop. I'll stop. I love him. I'm still gonna get a strongly worded letter.
You will.
Tomorrow.
Strongly worded G-chat.
Exactly. Old fuck, eh? Do you have one for Nexus Third Daily?
Yeah, Nexus. We'll go with Sleepy, man. And the reason I call him Sleepy, you probably hear it on the throwdown and make reference of it. So when Nexus and Nexus runs with Brian Winters, aka BTW. Shout out to those guys that have been helping us a lot with some of the throwdown graphics and stuff. But so I'll never forget it. So the 3 games a night, they had never done that before. They had never experienced that before. So you know me, man. I'm always like scrolling, and I'm on the site and shit, and I'll be like in the chat box, but not typing maybe. And Nexus makes a comment about, oh man, like that third game is so late, you know, I'm so tired, blah blah blah, whatever, right? So we play them the next series, and we end up beating them or whatever in the third game to like win the series. So like obviously when it was, you know, gift time, and I had to let it happen, man. I ripped him for saying, well, maybe if Nexus could stay up for all 3 games, then you know it would be a thing. So I haven't let him live that down yet. So Sleepy, like one of the 7 dwarfs, was what I would call Nexus.
All right. Mine would just be Fortnite. That's what I see him play. That's what I play him with. I'm not sure why. But yeah, Nicky, Fortnite. Pretty sure he's a pro at it. Maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. All right, next one will be Johnny Blaze.
All right, this
one's
go
easy.
back.
I know everyone's gonna be easy, but you don't take the easy. You don't take the easy.
I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna have a slight shot at Daly here. I'm gonna say Donnie Wood, because if you remember media shows from the beginning of last season, he could not friggin' get us 2 on the same team straight at all. go back. Like, you were fucking mixing up Johnny and Donnie. So I named myself Donnie Blaze for like the first half of the season.
I did.
You were the old Fido, the old Flota.
Could not figure out who was on whose team at the beginning of the season last year.
Listen, and usually, like, so, like, when it comes to media, like, I usually have all my ducks in a row. I'm usually on top of my shit, like, the whole thing. Who was it? I did it for a couple weeks, and then somebody said something to me, like, when I originally did it, then when I did it again, and then finally, I think it was Dolly on, like, off before we go on Throwdown, he's like, dude, you keep fucking this shit up, like, so just so you know, Donnie's on this team, Johnny's on this team. I'm like, oh, fuck, how long have I been doing that? They're like, dude, everybody's been telling you, you're a fucking mess. I'm like, oh, God. So, like, then I have to, like, think, right? And I'm like, okay, all right, don't fuck this up. But I fucked it up for, like, probably a month straight. Like, 4 shows, like, legit. I kept mixing up Donnie and Johnny. That's fantastic. And you never live it down, dude. Like, you never live it down. Especially, like, in media, like, when you throw yourself out there and shit, like, you go on the rants and say all the stupid crap. If I do one thing wrong, dude, I have literally 50 people telling me how bad I suck dick. Like, my hairdo last week, I've been getting G-chats on fucking all week. Hey, nice hair, pal. Oh, you're receding? I remember my first time putting on gel. You wear a helmet? Like, all day, all week. You know what I'm saying?
I think I just sent you a link for Rogaine. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm guilty of those messages, too.
Oh, fuck. So good. Yeah, that's funny. I did that. I own that. That was me. 100%.
Sweet, yeah.
I'll take the easy one. Or do you want? I'll take it. Grind, right? Like,
I have one. You
okay,
take
cool.
one.
So anytime you see Johnny Blaze, right, he's talking about some grind shit. Like, I had him on Facebook, and like anytime Johnny Blaze would pop into a thread or he'd be attached, I'm like, I know the grind with the long ends coming in here at some point. And sure shit, every time, man. You could be talking about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, you know, put some flowers in the ground. Grind. I'm gonna go jerk off in the corner. Grind. I'm gonna go do a backflip in my backyard. Grind. Like, that's just what he says. So grind is easily. Yeah, it's a Johnny Blaze thing.
100% his word. Yeah. No, I feel you. Mine will be Piri Piri. Simply because this dude, I don't even think he's Portuguese, but he knows all the habs of any Portuguese food in the GTA. I just had I think I mentioned one Portuguese food in the shout box, and he hit me with like 13 different restaurants and all the ones he's been to, and he's like, oh, I ate here, it's fucking delicious. He might be, I don't know, but yeah, Piri Piri for this one, or any other Portuguese food or type of food. And next will be L Thomps L. Their goalie.
I love this segment, by the way. I love this. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's old as time. Since this has been since the Bro Show inception. I don't know. I think it was Donnie's brainchild. Donnie, I think it's your brainchild, right?
I'm an idea guy.
Donnie content. That's what we call him. Donnie page views.
Donnie page views.
Donnie view count. Let's go.
Every time, I know this is probably like his last name's Thompson, so Thompson is like the beginning of that. I get it, and Damps is probably the same way, but he put an A in there, it's like Damps, whatever. Every time I see Thomps, I think of like an alligator. I don't know why, of like stomping on something. That's how I like it in my head. Okay. Every time I see it. Messed up probably, but I don't know why. But that's I'm gonna say alligator.
Daly?
For me, Ripped. This dude is an absolute monster. So most people know, like, I've gone through 2-year body transformation, from being a really fat guy to, where I'm at now. And when I had Tom's on week of 60. And, he knew I was going through this. And I found out actually through Clancy, because I don't know if people know this, Tom's and Clancy are brothers. So they're brothers. I don't think a lot of people know that.
I never questioned on my answer.
Oh no! Save it for Donnie
well,
drama
here's
next
the thing.
week.
So Clancy actually tells me, "Hey man, if you ever need, tips and stuff, talk to Tom." So this was, 5-6 months ago, whatever. So I go to Tom's. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm trying to lose this belly fat." At the time, I was sitting around like 225, right? And he's like, "Here, try this." He gives me a whole meal plan. I dropped, just in being on a team with him. I started from when I was on a team with him to when we finished. I was on that program. I lost 15 pounds of my belly, and it was crazy for me. And this dude is an absolute monster, by the way. He is built like a shipwreck house. So jacked is the only way. And he's an elite goaltender. He's top 3 in the league. So I had nothing but high praise for Tom. He's an awesome dude.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I haven't seen the news yet, but PM me. Yeah, mine was Donnie kind of touched on it, but mine would have been funnier. Thomps, right? Every time we see Thomps, we're talking about Thomps. People say Thomps. People say, I don't know, whatever, L Thomps. My word would be Thamps? Question mark? Because I always fuck it up. It's one of those interchangeable words. I say Thamps or Thomps. It's a lot of people fuck it up. It's some people think they're the same guy. I think to this day, I may or may not be one of those people. But yeah, L Thomps L, and I think the final guy here, and I can't see my screen because Hollywood Bob just got online, is Crazy Yeti Killa.
I mean, this guy's just classic stone bag. You couldn't be more stoner than Yeti, and just the stuff that happens to him. And he was just longboarding down the street, and he got hit by a car or something. It's like, it was horrible. Like, he got hurt and he was at the hospital. I think he broke a bone, but it's just a stoner. Is this guy just chill stoner? So that's my word for him. Who won?
For me, Goof. I'm gonna say Goof, as in goofball.
Oh,
This guy.
careful! Those are fighting words down here.
Well, that's the problem. He literally chirps me every time before he plays me, and then it gets absolutely ghosted off the score sheet every time. But he does it every single time. He knows I'm matching up. He'll go in the chat box. He'll send me G chats, man. He loves to be destroyed. He just loves it. He just enjoys it. The whale penis, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my whale penises, and my write-ups were born because of Crazy Yeti Killa. So he has this cult following, and he will always be attached to the whale wieners. But shout out to him, man. He's a good dude. He's great for the league. But yeah, man, Goof is what I got for Yeti.
All right, mine will simply just be a shot at another member on his team, because since Yeti's been playing on this team, he's kind of benefiting from his line mates a lot. Actually, I think maybe scored most of their goals. He's getting hat tricks a game here, and that's going to be better left wing than Dolly. And I'll let that one simmer. Hey, I didn't say there's any truth to the word association, right? It's just fun. One word. Everybody knows the rules. All right, the next team, the final team for word association this week, is Daly's team, and this is just Quinky Dink. Nobody planned this. Daly
this
happened
is
to be
cool,
a guest.
though.
Yeah, you get to do your team. Now, I think we finally found a time for you to actually talk about yourself and your team and be okay with it. Yeah, Donnie's Diner, but we're going to start off with, I usually start off with the captain. So, you know what? No, let's start off with the captain of this team, Daly. Daly is the guy we're talking about here. So go ahead,
Wait a minute, man.
Whoa, hey, respect the rules of word association,
all right. We'll respect it.
All right, Donnie, go for it.
I'm just going to use this. This relates to our last series. I'm just going to say diver. Not that you can control your diving, but these fucking guys come out with 2 offensive defensemen and 3 playmakers, and they were just fucking diving. There was 50 million penalties that series. It was the most frustrating series I've played in forever. I don't know if that's my kryptonite, but like there was just so many penalties, and I think I tripped Daly maybe 6 times that series.
Yeah, I had 10 points that series, so it was good for me on a personal level.
Yeah.
And we got the win. I felt bad, man. I felt like the offense can use you guys. Revelations to you, they gotta understand that. I mean, Yam's actually really good with the puck, very underrated, and you're obviously very good offensively. I feel like if they would have used you guys more, it would have really opened things up. You gotta talk to Rev about that because I just kept collapsing down on him. But yeah, I don't know
like,
what
that
it
was weird. We just didn't play well that series. I don't know what it was.
I said the same thing.
It wasn't a typical series for us. I know no one believes in Scheme Mass 11, but it just wasn't like that. Just was. It was an odd series for us. So
yeah, it was a strange one. But someone's always told me that, like, even when I play D, they're like, you draw a lot of penalties when you carry, because I carry about 100 times a game. This is what I do. So I don't actually play defense when I play defense. But yeah, it was a lot of penalties that series. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think you tripped me a bunch too. I think you were.
I did.
Yeah,
everybody tripped me. It was a mess.
Yeah, there was 2 people. There was 2 games where we had like 18 minutes of penalties.
Yeah, it was gross. But it's games and series like that I'm happy I'm not a captain.
Yeah.
Even though you're saying I am, but like I'm happy I'm not doing stats or anything.
I mean, clearly, I believe in Mag. Anytime you're on a team.
Wait, I don't have to do myself, right? Like I don't have to word as
do yourself, bro.
Oh,
one word.
Man.
Yeah, one word. Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think of yourself?
Mine's goal horn, man. Because that's all I do on Downey Diner.
That's a good one. That's not. See. The only reason I ever wanted to be on one of your teams.
Man. We try and have fun, man. So yeah, I got the goal horn. Shout out to Mac North. This is actually the goal horn. The same. I don't know how he did it. Season number 5. Putting it in. I found this in my basement. It was one of my son's toys, and like we scored. And it was just right there, right? Like it was meant to be. And I picked it up. I grabbed it and I pulled that thing and I started doing that moan, and the whole party lost it. We all lost it. And so every goal for the rest of the season, I did that. And here's the thing. Right after Season 5 ended, the next day when we got eliminated, O-Dog came down to the basement. And most people who know my kid, he's a dick. He picks the thing up, he looks at it, he looks at me, and he smashed it on the tile. Not even kidding. Like, smashed. Dead, right? Broken. Mac North drafted me this year. He goes on Amazon, goes on YouTube, is trying to find the exact replica of the goal horn, finds it for like $4.99, has it overnighted to me and at my house in time for Series 1. If that's not a commitment level, then I don't know what it is, man. So, yeah, it's a bubble maker. On the next throwdown, dude, I'm gonna actually throw some bubbles on it so that you guys can see it. So it's like a legit thing. But
I was gonna say, I don't think making it not a bubble maker doesn't improve it. You know what I mean? Like it would have been just as funny, if not more funny.
I should probably, what I should do?
The thing was shooting out bubbles.
Like with how big like Twitch and stuff is now, I might actually just set up my camera just so people can watch the celly like afterwards. Because no matter who scores, man, I get after it like I do. So,
Daily, you should start streaming, man. You could be like probably the next Ninja. I'm just saying that right now. How are you not entertaining?
I mean, I try to be, man. I try to be. I'm just, I'm the, It is what it is. But,
yeah, you're meant. Yeah, like it's not all there. We understand, but that's why.
I know.
That's why.
I mean, yeah, I got
laughing at you, not with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we know.
Perfect. So goal horn. That's how I describe myself. Goal horn.
Goal horn. All right. I like it. Mine would be. I'll throw you a bone here with this one. Mine would be Kevin Smith with abs. All right. There you go. That's one word. Everybody knows the rules.
Do you know who did that first? Do you know where that came from?
Yeah, Bag?
Yeah, Bag called me Kevin Smith, and then his wife confirmed it. And once Elise confirmed it, it was over. Because now it's everybody.
Yeah, it's not just some senile bitch that trolls everybody on the website. It's actually a normal person, probably. No, never mind. She married that guy. Never mind. I wouldn't take it. Grain of salt, my opinion.
I know, man, but I'll take the compliment. Kevin Smith with abs, I can do. I can handle that.
Right?
Yeah, I can deal with that.
Let's go. All right, now let's move on to the assistant captain of the team, Mac North. Donnie, go for it.
This is like going to be like one of these weird ones, but every time I see like Mac North, I just think of McDonald's for some reason. I don't know why, like McDonald's, Big Macs, just go, I have that visual going through my head. Maybe I'm hungry. I don't know. But basically that's it for me. Big Mac or McDonald's, the north part of something. Weird one, but how do you have 4 points?
He's played forward. He played when we were really struggling.
Oh yeah, he played against us.
Yeah, when we were really struggling, we threw Kelch to the wolves against the #1 offense, and that didn't work out well. So,
oh boy,
bad.
Honestly, I will say this: he was pretty good. All of us were actually like, not that bad.
Hey man, I know we don't word association the seventh man, but shout out to Kelchi, man. He's in Pounders territory, man. Oh, do we? Okay, cool, perfect. Then
we word associated Yeti.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
No
cool.
worries.
Any
shout-outs at the end of the show. Save your shout-outs at the end of the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
It's my
do you have one for Mac?
Yeah, Mac North, man, leader. Here's the thing. I played with Mac in season. Yeah, leader. I'm saying it.
I was gonna say. All right. We're off of you right now. We're on Mac North, just so you know. Okay. All right.
I am saying leader, but here's why. So I've never actually played with Mac North up until season 5, but I've played in leagues with Mac North for the better part of a decade. We just never crossed paths, never been on the same teams. It's what it was. And even season 5, man, he leads by the way that he plays, and he was our netminder, and he would always be there, like something bad happened, and he'd be like, "Yo, keep it going, guys, keep it going." Gives that insight. He's a quiet leader, but he says what needs to be said. And this season, obviously working so closely with him, he took me, at pick 3 when obviously nobody thought I should ever go that high, and that probably is right. But him and I have been, working together just to try and put a really good team out there. And, he was the one who went out and got the BBX trade. Shout out to Sniper. He was in that trade. But, BBX allows Cortez to move to wing where he's more comfortable. BBX is a true center, and our team became that much greater because of it. And, he notices things. He sees things. So he's a really good leader, and he's an even better dude. So that's how that's what I got for Mac, leader.
Yeah, it's a true heart pick. Jesus, oh my God. Give me a second. Mine would for Mac would be he's a basketball coach, right? Or am I thinking?
He is. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So mine doesn't really make sense, but whatever. Coach Carter. Simply because
Oh God.
I do agree.
You get a goal horn for that. You get a goal horn for that.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Good. I'm playing like absolute shit right now, practicing with my team while doing this because priorities. Awful. Could definitely use a goal horn. Yeah. No, my thing. it's a wreck. I'm definitely happy we're not including video in the podcast. It kind of ties into him being a leader because Coach Carter, if you've ever seen the movie, he's a pretty hard-ass coach and kind of has priorities. And I just feel like Mac's that type of dude. He's super fun, super good guy, and I actually don't mean a lick of what I'm saying about him not actually controlling the team. He's out here. He's out here in write-ups. He's out here, man. I know that dude can run, and I think he had some good picks. Maybe not his first pick in the second. No big deal. That's fine. We'll bury that hatchet. I think it's self-explanatory, and my team just got scored. Oh my God, the penalty. I'm a mess, and that leads into mine. I'll just say it for Cortez EA, the next guy. He's mess 2.0. Same as Cosmic. I'm not saying he's better. He's just more of a mess than Cosmic. So, Donnie, sorry, you can go ahead on that.
This is all starting to make sense because Schwab sent me a message that said, "Tell Dom to pass to me one effing time." So now it's all starting full circle. It makes sense. I already did. I did
actually.
What are you thinking with that name?
Yeah.
That EA on there. Oh, it looks gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just shoot it over to Daily. Cortez is gross either way, but anyways, Daily.
Hey man, Cortez gets a big up for me. I'll go with Mini-Me, man. This guy not only happens to have similar traits to me as far as physical traits, but He's an absolute sponge. One of the only 20-year-olds, man, listen, I'll be honest, I remember being 20 and being full of myself and thinking that I was the greatest thing ever, but he really takes all advice in and he sponges it and he continues to get better. And he's gotten stronger each series that we've played. His point production has gone because of it. And so, yeah, Mini-Me, man, I think this guy's, he's the total package. He got a little bit of everything, so I'm going to say Mini-Me for Cortez.
Mini-Me.
Bit of a ironic nickname. I get it. Rip Mini-Me right after he just. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh god, that's too soon.
Leave that out.
Daily.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry. No, you can leave it.
I'll throw up an in memoriam photo while this is happening.
Oh, hell
Totally
yeah.
not doing that because who really
Effort.
gives a shit?
Because effort.
Because effort. E for effort, just like all the things I was gonna do last week. All right, I guess did I say?
Yeah, you said
Cortez?
2.0. So
Yeah,
that
that's 2.0.
we're on the D.
That's what he is. Yeah, right. Well, right now I'm gonna go with I think probably my favorite one for this one is BBX 90.
I mean,
Daly, I know you have good things to say. Wait, hold on, Daly.
I do.
Get the nice stuff out of the way. So go ahead, Daly. You could start this one off.
Underrated, man. This guy has gone in round 5 2 years in a row. People have really, and here's the thing, me included, man. I used to say, and I used to say this a lot, he holds the puck too long. But now that I've talked with him, and now that I've gotten to play a couple series with him, I get it. And him and I are on the same page, and the results have been there. This guy's very underrated. I like his game, and he's very good defensively, very underrated player.
that will last like maybe 1 to 2 more weeks, I think. I think you'll see if you start losing, you're going to see a side of him that you'll never see from anybody else before. Like, I've been around this guy for years. He likes to just he holds no personal accountability for any decision that he makes. Ever. Like, I've never played for an entire season, played with him for multiple seasons in other leagues before this. I've never heard him say, shit, I fucked that up, or I made that mistake. He'll blame it on his controller or his lag or whatever, and he was the number one reason why we lost that series to you guys at the end of last season and why we got knocked out of the playoffs, because he was complete AIDS in our team, and on a team that was like pretty stacked at that point. We could have done a lot if we just didn't become AIDS, and he didn't take any personal accountability for any of that. And it was like 6 people would be like, I don't know, I just can't stand this guy. Almost same level as Kevin. I tried to give him a chance last season. It lasted a while, and then like one mistake, and it was just like, boom, like floor out, whirlwind, like just disgusting. Everything in a blender, pushing it up, everyone yelling, terrible.
Yeah,
that
I
blow
mean,
up.
one word, everybody knows
That
the rules.
switch. Yeah, one word.
One paragraph, everybody knows the rules. Yeah, mine for him, and this also goes way back because I've also played on a team with him, and I've witnessed him firsthand, and I've, lost with the guy, and that's kind of all you really need to know is the character that he has after a loss happens. Anybody, to be fair, anybody, the character anybody has after a loss. But to make it a fun side, this is definitely a BBX trait. So my one word, not really one word, for him is get open. Just get open. He's holding the puck. He's making circles because he's looking for someone to get open. I don't know if anyone else has played with him that way. He'll do circle in the offensive zone, just waiting for a guy to get open. It's classic BBX, classic. I'm just holding it too long because I'm trying to do something, and then I lost it, and then I'll say, oh, it's because nobody was getting open. It's one of my favorite things ever.
You ever heard him talk? And he has like the most recognizable voice ever.
Oh, absolutely. It's like raspy, and it's like,
yeah.
Like
and
itself, I've heard him talk.
Rule London Moose, created a gamer tag CZZM1, and then I was captaining, and like he was like, oh, like send me messages, let's go, and then he got into a game. And not only does he have the most recognizable voice, he has the most recognizable play style. Like, I feel like if you put him under a gamer tag and put 10 teams out there, and I watched him play, like, all right, this one's BBX, this one's Jesus Stick, and then like tried to be like, I was like, okay, banger, okay, Jesus Stick. He's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And they started opening his mouth. I'm like, dude, like, this dude is just so unaware of how recognizable he is. It was funny. I'll never forget that. And like he'll still deny it to this day. I brought it up at the beginning of drop half and Pat Murphy says, hey, CZZM. Like you don't forget that. You don't forget when you purposely go out and make a second tag to try to come back into a league that you got rule 1 done.
And the ruse.
You don't forget that.
Like
immediately. It's like you're still trying to like keep the charade up like 2 years later. I'm just like, all right, dude, you're the most recognizable person out here. So I'll never forget that. So my one word out of all that is CZZM.
All right, let's definitely move it on here to I think he's still on your team. Megs McGilla72.
He is. Oh, sorry. Am I going? Usually Donnie goes first.
Yeah, we'll go with.
Yeah, I go first. Well, I never, Mag's been around forever, but I never played on a team with him. He's not like super active in the chat box or anything like that, but they got the chance last night to play poker with him so spend some quality time with him. My one word for him is humble. Just seemed like a humble guy. He was pretty chill playing poker last night. Again, I haven't played hockey with him. I played against him a bunch or whatever, and I'm just gonna say humble.
OG, man. This guy has literally been around forever. It's weird, like, when you think 239, you think of, like, if this guy wasn't there, how would this league be? So, for me, Hugh Laurie is one of those guys. Like, if Hugh Laurie wasn't here, it just wouldn't be the same for me. You know what I'm saying? Yambag is one of those guys. If he wasn't here, it wouldn't be the same for me. McGilla falls in that category, man. He's just an OG. He's just a big part of the process. Guys will always sit there and say, well, what does he do? What does he do? He does a lot behind the scenes. To me, man, McGilla, and he's a good player, too, by the way. He is that typical stay-at-home lefty. When you're an aggressive righty like myself that you'd love to play with because you know he's going to get your back. Just all-around good dude. But, OG, original gangsta. Yeah.
All right, mine you'll kind of only understand. I don't know, maybe if you've witnessed him do these things, but if you've ever been a captain and have talked trades with McGilla, he earns this nickname, which is Serial Trapist. This guy's offers are always like, how about Chris Dapps for D-Mart? How about that? Let's just go for that. Just like every time it's something like ridiculous, and he's like 100% serious. And it's not laughable. It's just like, all right, dude, this captain does not make stupid moves whenever he's a captain. I feel like. That being said, someone could probably find a stupid move that he made, and I'll eat crow. But Serial Trapist. It's Megs. Vet cap, 100%. Let's go to our second last name here, right after. His D partner, Derek GNR.
I never actually played on a team with Derek. Never played. I don't think I've ever played club with Derek either. But I've been around Derek for years at this point, from last few years in Moose to now. One word, mute. Never heard him talk. Don't know what his voice looks like. You ever just see someone that you've seen around but you've never heard their voice before? I've never heard this dude's voice. It's weird. I'm just gonna say mute. He's probably I don't know if he's mute. Is he mute? Does he talk during games daily? I don't know.
I can get him to talk, and him and I have a deal actually set up. If we win the cup, he has to do the bullhorn and do the moan, and he agreed to it via chat. Nice. Yeah, that'll be a team building thing if we can get it done. Derek's gonna do the Korean moan. That's what it's called. The Korean roller coaster is what it's actually called. That moaning thing. But yeah, he agreed to do it. I'm
actually upset that we won't get to hear that, but continue.
Yeah, he's he's quiet, but he's a great player. So for me, Derek is gonna be I'll go with this, silent but deadly, and the silence, obvious reason, right? But the deadly part, this guy is so good at lane control. He makes you think that you have a pass or you have space, and then he gets after you, and it's deadly. And I've seen it, and it's almost like, man, like I haven't seen a lot of guys be able to do that, close gaps really quickly. To me, like Chelsea's really good at closing gaps. Derek's up there, man. Him falling to 32 is criminal. So silent but deadly. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, mine will just be. It's a weird one. It's a stretch. It's a slash ? Not sure if Derek GNR is for Guns N' Roses.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody said that sometime. I was just going to bring that up. Is that what it stands for?
It might be. I don't know.
I've never
can't
asked
confirm
him.
yet.
When you need
Ask him. Get back to us.
from Donnie's Diner team chat on that one.
Yeah.
Dom, you know that picture's of me, right? Not Tom's, right?
Yeah, you absolute mess. Of course I know it's you. That's
Oh,
why
I didn't
I'm
know.
asking you to send me thomps. Like,
Oh,
bro,
okay, got
come
you,
on.
got you. Yeah, I can do that.
Jesus.
I didn't know.
I've only seen like 15 of your nudes for like the past 3 days. Like, come on, I know what you look like
Alright,
inside and out.
Listen, I just didn't know. Anyway, sorry. So, what did you say for Derek?
Derek is just slash question mark. So we're gonna move on to your 7th guy.
Kelch.
Is it Kelch or Catch? Because I thought it was Catch.
No, it's Kelch. Young Kelch. AKA
Fuck
Kelch.
me in the dick. Now I have to like get a different one because mine was, damn it. All right, Donnie, go for Young Kelch.
Damn, I don't know. I'm just gonna, it's just like a rapper name. I don't know. I'm gonna say G Unit. I don't know. I don't know this guy.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel at the end of word association.
That's so good. For me, he's the next daily guy, man. This guy, man, he's been so. First of all, his best position, in my opinion, is lefty, and he's refused it, which is absolute travesty for him. He did what Kyle did in season 5 when I had him. I had the Vezina goalie from last year sitting on my bench, only able to play his worst positions because he doesn't know how to sign up properly. But Kelchi is a really good goalie. He's a really good lefty, and he's a really good dude. He's like Pounder status, man. He sits in every one of our parties. He kind of like gives us, hey, what's going on? Someone gonna stream? Like, he's more vocal than Lee Baruch, aka Pounders. Shout out to Pounders, man. He's more vocal. He's in there. He's talking with us. He likes to play games. He's literally the best teammate that you could ask for, and I mean that, not even blowing smoke. He's really awesome. So shout out to Kelchi, man. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, it's good we find a lot of 7th mans like that. We definitely need awards like. I think we might have an award like that, but
we do. Yeah, I've done them the last couple.
Yeah, 7th
years.
man. I was gonna say it's been a while since I've seen. But
do
yeah,
you guys do
for sure,
that?
that's great.
I always say years. I'm like, the last couple of years, because like I just
Years and seasons, and it's like we're talking about 2 months. Yeah, I've done that. I have to catch myself.
I do it all the time. Like, the last couple of years, it's been like 3 seasons is like 8 months. But I've talked like it's been like years. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Mine, I don't know. I thought his was Catch, and it was Young Catch. That was gonna be Ash. Pokemon reference Ash Ketchum. I don't know.
Can I just ask how you get Catch from that name? Like, what name do you
because
read?
I copied it. No, like I straight up copied it from like whatever, like the oh my god, I'm about to get this word on the master sheet, and it looks like, I guess with the font I have, it looks like it's Catch. Like, I'm looking at it right now, it still looks like a T. So if it's Kelch, I'll just say Kale. I don't know. If I hear or see Kelch, I'll think Kale. Jesus, can't get rid of the puck. So yeah, just Kale. I don't know. I'm a mess out here. Yeah, that'll be it for word association though. Obviously, just before we head into closing statements, I'll bring something up here. We touched on East over Elitist last night, and we just wanted to close with that here, especially with you guys in the party, because we got me and Donnie, and then Rocco, Rip Rocco for now, running the Bro Show. We got daily running Throwdown, clearly the weekly Thursday, where pretty much all things media, all things 239 are covered. Yours truly, the brass at the Elitist and the brass at the Bro Show, kind of talked about it and felt just kind of like out of the blue. What do you guys think about alternating weeks? What do you guys think about you taking your perspectives and your segments and then sharing them on a weekly basis, and then the Bro Show does it the next week, and then the Elitist does it next week? So we agreed to terms. We'll see how this works out for now. Obviously, if anything big happens and you guys want to hear your favorite personalities talk about it, we'll bring it back. But yeah, for the most part, this will be dropping, this week, if you know what this week is, and then the Elitist should be, I think, on Friday as usual. It's weird because you're getting 2 media shows in 1 week, but they're covering different weeks. So, yeah, that's the thing. Donnie, do you have anything to say before you close out the show?
No, all good. Good week too. Thanks for coming on daily.
Yeah, thanks guys for
Yeah.
having me. I appreciate it. It's nice, man. Listen. I love these shows because no matter what we say, when I get ready for the Throwdown every week, at least I try. I gotta shave. I gotta get in the right frame of mind. Even if I do my hair and it's terrible apparently. It's nice to do the podcasts and shows like this because I can just literally, I'm in my underwear right now and I have no shirt on. Fact. So,
Same
yeah, man, it's just nice to be able to. Yeah, see, look at us, man. We all get it.
That's why we call it the Bro Show, dude.
Listen, we've been doing this a long time, like we all have.
Yeah,
so
right?
We know how it goes. Like, no one can see
And
us,
I've always said you had a face made for radio, so, it's all it's meant for.
Oh,
do you have any closing statements for...
Dude, you want a good laugh? Go back and look at the original 239 Throwdown shows, and you'll get a good laugh, I promise. They're bad.
Alright, well, for sure. Yeah, if you got nothing else to say, Daily, I'm just going to say, well, I had some closing things here, obviously, some plugs to throw it out, some of this boring league stuff, but I was going to say, if you're new to 239, or don't look at the website, because we have fucking well-known members that still don't know how our website works, and what tabs are, and how to navigate the goddamn thing. But yeah, 239 has a store, believe it or not. You get merch. If you have any suggestions for merch, or want to make merch, or have an idea, hit up one of our guys, and we can probably get that created for you. But yeah, go to the main forum page, top right corner, 239 store, buy some merch. Low profits go to the league, helps fund the server, all that stuff. Everything goes directly to the league, and you're able to rock your favorite sayings and swag. So yeah, hit up the 239 store. And I guess the final plug would be, we have a bunch of pretty regular Twitch streamers in the league now. You know what I mean? So not just guys that you'll see streaming games like Welcome to the Web, Stamps, all those guys. But guys that just stream outside of it and are kind of like making it a thing. Like, we know DMart Gaming is a thing, Rev Hellcat, Dalai Lama, Ability, but only if you're a bot. Cortez, shit like that. Like, these guys stream kind of like nonstop, so hit them up. There is a Twitch stream bar. If you've seen it, they'll on the website, and if in the shout box, we'll be posting Twitch streams up when they come up. So yeah, let's go out there, have fun, sticks on the ice, guys, and I think that's it for the show, guys. Thanks for coming on, Daily.
Yep, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Need more Twitch blow-ups.
Need more Twitch blow-ups. Absolutely.
Dude, yes.
They're so good. They're so good.
Awesome.
Need more Dollyisms.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
Oh man, we need someone to cut them and make a roll of them too. That ability one. Oh, you selfish fuck, Rich. That was unreal.
I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that
Ask Donnie would. Donnie, do you hate after a series where you lose when someone sends you a GG?
No one ever sends me GGs, so...
I fucking hate it.
You're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my
It's like, no, it wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good series. You shit all over us. You beat the fucking brakes off of us. Nothing was good about it. Yeah, it was great for you, but it was miserable for me.
to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that lead you
Now I'm
Type
done.
number 1.
Now I'm done. Good game, GG. Suck my balls.
Many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after
If you ask
No, like-
Gambag, he'll tell you that I don't give anybody any due. He'll say that I'm the most selfish prick ever. But listen, when I get my shit pushed in, like homosexual style, I have no problem giving due at all.
you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm done. I swear to God. Alright, we good?
We're good.
Okay,
We're
cool.
good, guys.
You're gonna be the one that saves me.